making his way to the location. And get in with a couple of new questions from Mitcher 101. Is there any customization in the DLC? So I'm assuming you're asking about T-Bone.
Well, there's different costumes, just
Yeah.
like with Aiden. We have a series of costumes you can get, and then there's of course the skill tree, which is effectively a customization, but it's sort of an unlocking of what he could eventually have.
All right, Bogdan mentioned that a bit earlier. N3C3 is asking, will there be new stealth capabilities for T-Bone? Bogdan, maybe?
Well, basically the new stealth capability for T-Bone is using Eugene, because by using this he can really stay quite far away from the action and sneak in. The toy car is very small, so obviously it's going to sneak in by some people that T-Bone wouldn't be able to sneak by. And as I said earlier, it has the capability of stunning people, so it can actually be a really, really powerful stealth tool. And you can bypass a lot of situations by using it cleverly, which we hope you'll do, of course. So yes, it's a new and I would say pretty strong stealth option.
All right, thanks. GGP Shirakawa is asking, why call the car Eugene? Is there a deeper sense, or is it just something you found to be funny?
Well, it's a joke typical of T-Bone, basically. T-Bone, as I said earlier, was a very promising character exactly because he has such an unusual personality. He's the kind of guy who would name anything that he has, for instance. And especially such a powerful tool as the RC car. There's no super deep meaning, but it's, let's say, a Pink Floyd reference.
Oh, really? It's a Pink Floyd reference.
Yeah. Basically.
So could we assume that T-Bone is a big fan of Pink Floyd?
I have no idea.
You'd have to ask him.
Yeah, we'd have to ask him. Moru SLP asks, what do you think is the coolest or best innovation in the DLC which sets itself apart from the main game?
Well, we just kind of answered that question with the co-op and Eugene. I think those are the two big innovations that add to the main game, I guess. Sets it apart.
Well, you also see that T-Bone does have some new moves and stuff there.
So T-Bone does have some new moves.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, he works with different tools, right? So, like Bogdan was mentioning earlier as well. So.
All right.
And the cinematics are particularly excellent, I think.
Yes.
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 So are the side
Absolutely.
investigations. I was quite surprised by how effectively they were done.
Very well.
Yes.
Very well.
If I may say so myself.
Yeah.
I
Totally
myself
unbiased
cannot
opinion.
wait to watch the cinematics and play the side investigations.
Thank you.
Let's go back to some fan questions. Keithy55, will we be able to play T-Bone in free roam too, or is he just for the campaign?
Oh, you can, absolutely. The entire DLC is T-Bone.
So you can do free roam as much as you want?
Basically, it's a whole different mode, right? Like you go into the main menu, you say play as T-Bone, and then it's as if you go and you're playing your regular game, but now you're T-Bone, you have different missions available. Like you can see when he's going into the map there, and that's effectively free roam. He might be, are you playing co-op? You're playing co-op. Okay, so it's not really effectively free roam, but you can see all the icons on the map, just like in the regular game. So you're just in a different mode, you're playing as T-Bone.
Cavalcanti 9, anything in Bad Blood about T-Bone's history apart from the fact that he was a Bloom employee? Without being spoiler free, I doubt that yes.
That would be our whole fundamental idea of making a big story about him, would be to kind of look into his past, find out things about him. And
you actually get like a few clues on that when you play Watch Dogs 1 as Aiden Pierce. There's a few things in there as well that kind of hints on the past of T-Bone, like with Bloom and Tobias's.
Right. I want to talk about Tobias a bit because he is a big part of the DLC, right? Maybe Aurélien or Charles, do you have any insight on Tobias?
So Tobias is a sidekick of T-Bone. So T-Bone will start to help him, but Tobias will help him in exchange also. And they have a particular relationship, and I cannot say anymore.
All right, so keeping it spoiler-free again.
Yes.
Will there be any new gang hideouts or criminal convoys for T-Bone, or some completely new stuff from N3C3?
Well, the street sweep is actually a twist on the gang hideouts in a sense. Like the street sweep takes sort of the fundamental gameplay of gang hideouts and like explodes it into a million different types of gameplays, and even reuses some of the locations of the gang hideouts. In terms of convoys, we on our development floor, we kind of got tired of convoys because we had about 24 of them, I think, or 20 of them. Anyway, I think the final game had 20. And so we thought, okay, let's take a break on the convoys. I think there might be some. Maybe Bogdan can correct me on that. But it's not a big focus like with the gang hideouts.
There are no new convoy missions, but there are new driving missions. And but again, we did try to not have the same stuff. So the new driving missions are actually also have new driving mission modes. So they're not the same types of missions that Aidan took part in, but there are like 30 and something the new driving missions.
All right, thanks. A question about character. Hector Ma 87 is asking, T-Bone is a pretty unstable individual psychologically speaking. How does that aspect affect the gameplay in Bad Blood?
Well, I'm curious to actually how he came to that conclusion. I mean, it's always fun to see how people interpret the different characters in the game, but without giving much away as well. You'll definitely get to see some sides of T-Bone that you'll have some go at and some laughs at. But there's also other characters in there for sure that'll challenge his sanity.
Do you have anything to add on that, guys?
No.
Well, to be honest, I don't necessarily see T-Bone as unstable. He's unusual, but he actually is in many ways, let's say, a reasonable person.
Yeah, I would say
he's
the same.
Just wacky. He's just you know.
Yeah, but
he's not unstable.
Yeah.
That's why I was curious to
If
how
anyone's unstable, it would be the other character
Yeah.
that we've talked about.
Spoiler alert.
Without
Spoiler alert. Ah.
Spoiler alert. Mingled Marksman is asking, are there any new hacks that T-Bone can use? I know we've seen a camera, so maybe we could talk about the camera a bit. There's a camera with guns, right?
Yes, and that's basically the sum of it. There are, but of course they are really specific to certain places in the narrative. But there are, depending on the definition, they are weapons with cameras on them or cameras with weapons on them. And what you do is you hack into them, you control the camera, and you can also shoot. And of course, nobody realizes where it's coming from.
All right.
There's also a mission that has some pretty wild hacks. It's not new hacks. I'm pretty sure that the question meant, are the new things that you'll be able to hack all over the world. And Bogdan points out that it's in the narrative where you have the cameras with the guns on them or the guns with the cameras on them. And but there's another point in the narrative where that concept of putting a gun on a camera is kind of like taken to its furthest point, which I found a really amazing mission. By the way, congratulations, Bogdan. And so yeah, you can really look forward to a lot of fun with that one.